Hi everyone, welcome back to Prince and Nikki's channel. Thank you for joining us today. We've hoped you've been enjoying the recent videos we've been bringing for you on our own project and more recently on Project Yaw. Today's video, we're back on Project Yaw again. We're doing the decking and the ground floor casting. If you haven't already done so, there are 3 previous episodes on this project, which takes you to where we are now and how we implemented a lower ground floor to work with the land. The land itself is actually a 10-foot gradient, so the design needed to be amended to work with the land. So just a little bit of an overview. This is a project of 4 times 2 bedroom apartments, which is the site is actually 3 plots, but this building is on 1 plot. This is in Asebu, Cape Coast, and as I said, we have created an additional new apartment on the lower ground, which is where you can see the stairwell being created there. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all of you that's continued to support our channel and for the amount of you that's been contacting us and giving us well wishes and comments and just encouragement. Thank you all for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, then do support us and subscribe and share our videos to help us to share the knowledge and the content that we are creating. Today's video, we're firstly going to start talking about the decking before we get into the metalworks, electrical, how we started the retaining wall and the ground floor casting. So let's get into the video. As you can see on the screen here, we have been starting with the decking. This particular project, as I said, we had to work with the land, and that was a 10-foot gradient, so therefore we created the lower ground floor and apartment.
Yeah, as we previously said, the idea wasn't to create an apartment. First, it was a carport, but as we began to dig the ground, the owner said, can that be a bedroom? So we decided to implement that layout on the original ground floor to the lower ground floor. So it became a very useful space. And also we added a storage space, which is highly welcomed by the client.
Yes, I mean, it's such a large space that it's good to have created that and utilised the space. One thing I will say is when you're working on your own particular project, just make sure that if you are making changes, we always encourage on-site changes. We did on our own project. It's good to make changes and improvements as you go along. This one obviously was on the ground floor, so we had to make a lot of changes, but it's really important that you have a full team, including architectural and structural, to make sure that the amendments are suitable.
Yeah, you need to have the calculation check again to say what you're proposing to do, will it work? You can't just go do what someone tells you on site. You need to have that expertise in the background telling you what you're doing. Structurally, it will work.
Yeah. So what you're seeing on the screen here, this is the back end of the lower ground apartment that we created. You can see the decking's being created on top there. That will form alongside the foundation there, that will form the whole ground floor. One thing I would recommend is for anyone that's now at the stages of planning or anyone who is wanting to start building, really make sure that you have any construction company that's going to work on the site to go and do the site visit first. It's really important. We've done quite a few site visits in the last few weeks, and depending on when you're building, there's quite a lot of different mountainous areas, and it's really important that you make those amendments on the sites.
As we said, usually the drawing we get back from Ghana don't show you the existing land level and the proposed levels, which meant to be on the drawings, to tell the contractor or whoever is going to build to say there are challenges on the land. Every building we've seen, 99% of them are designed to be on a flat land, but that is not reality. When you look, especially around Asebu, majority of the land are in hilly areas, so you need to factor that in when you planning your design.
You can see here, just by looking at this images, how steep it is. Obviously, it's very steep. We have said in our previous video, if you haven't already watched it, you'll see the guys, when we was bringing up the mixing machine, it was quite a challenge to get the mixing machine up, and it took actually 2 days because we had the bongo truck deliver it. That couldn't get it up the hill. Then we actually went and rented a different truck that came,
and the truck still, that brings the sun.
Yeah,
they bring the sun and stuff,
and it still couldn't get all the way up because of it's so steep. So another consideration is, if you are building, think about the weathers, because we wanted to get this all done before the rainy season. There's no way we would have got those things delivered to do the casting up this hill in any rainy season.
Yeah.
So you'll see the video on the previous, and I think you'll see a little bit of a snapshot again in this video, where the final bit where the lorry couldn't get is just, they had to actually really work hard, didn't they? To get it delivered.
Yeah, so here the decking is done. The carpenter is just putting down the rubber to get that fair face finish, because we don't anticipate to do another false ceiling in the lower ground floor, because it's will look at additional space. So we just put in all this one. It also helps to protect the board, because we want to reuse this board on the first floor. As you know, we always talk about crusader. We are crusaders of the metal plates, but the metal plates is cheaper if you're doing just one floor decking. If you're gonna do another decking, if you got 2 levels, then it's cheaper to go with the plywood decking. So that's why you see the plywood decking here.
Yeah, you have to do the calculations, and it's on a case-by-case basis. You need to work it out which is going to be the best for you.
That being said, we recently helped one of our subscribers save over 30,000 cedis just on labor costs in doing her decking. We didn't carry out the work. She came and seek our advice to say, I've got this quotation. The labor to do the decking and the casting is very expensive. So what we did is just to give an estimate, obtain quotations from people we trust and work with, and then she was able to save that money.
Yeah, you can see the guys there. The delivery truck brings the machine right up to where the stones are, and it just can't get anywhere closer. So
there's nowhere.
It's just, we had to put all hands on deck, but we do look after the guys. As part of their employment package, they do get looked after. So yeah, it's challenging in certain areas for the land, but so yeah, just taking you back, this is the front elevation. As you can see here, the decking is over the low ground floor, and then as you pan to the right, then you've got your foundation. Just to make sure, and just reiterate again, when you're doing your foundation, just need to make sure that you're doing your filling in stages, and that you're compacting the filling very well to make sure that it's all done. And then you would need to make sure that you apply your DPM, damp-proof membrane, and your tape. So when you're doing your decking stage, the materials that you would normally use is bamboo, boards and plywood. Obviously, if you're using metal plates, depending on your own project and the quotations, you wouldn't need the bamboo because the metal plates...
Yeah, we've got acro bars that give you the acros, which is cheaper.
So here the guys are just adding all the material to the woods, getting ready to go. You'll see the soil here on the left-hand side. This is how steep it is. So obviously what we've done as part of the planning process is we've had to start a retaining wall. So there will be a retaining wall at both the front and rear of the property. We've had to implement this to make sure that there's no land erosion and get ready so that the site's safe and there's no damage or any issues as best we can.
Now that the rain is in the corner, it just make sure that when we leave site, because the client is taking a break, a couple of months break before it's come to continue, that the rain does not cause any damages to the lower ground floor.
Yeah, I think what will need to be happen, obviously, with the land, as the building goes up, the client will be advised as well to think about the groundworks there's the retaining wall is a starter retaining wall, but then what will need to happen is that wall will need to be extended and continued further out so that that upper level is fully held back from all the way across, just to make sure that you know it works with the land that you have.
So after the carpenter is finished, we just have the steel bender. I can see some iron rods at the end there. They began doing their stirrups or rings, where people call it, for all the beams. The steel bender will usually do all the beams first before they become do the mat or the weaving. Some people will call it. So that is just about to start happening. So you saw one guy earlier on who was taking measurement to make sure they get all the cuts correctly, because they have to follow the drawing. As always, we always say, is you got to do what is shown on the drawing.
I have to say though, since we started on site, if you can see in the distance there, there's a lot more lands that's starting to be cleared and popping up. Just this week we've been to a few different plots on this phase in the Pan-African village. There's been a few that we've been to see and give quotations. There's some that's already at lintel level, so our carpenter's been and gave quotations for the roofing, but there are quite a few popping up around there. I think once one or two people have made a start, you have to have someone that's leading, and obviously as a community, once someone starts leading and doing their project, then other people feel the confidence to do that as well.
In the last 2 months, there has been a lot of new projects that are starting. A lot of land has been cleared, and you can now see the community start to develop. So I think before we come back here in a couple of months' time, it'll be completely a new place, a different place.
Yeah, you're saying we might come back in a couple of months, but we've got already people coming wanting us down there, so I think we might end up getting stuck there.
We got some other jobs to get on with, yeah.
Yeah.
First come, first serve.
Namely my own project, guys. You need to tell Prince my own project needs to be done, yeah?
Haven't you heard the story that the builders never finish their own house?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I have lots of plans and exciting things on our own project. As I said in the previous video, we are heading out to Ghana soon, so I want to keep Prince very busy on our own. If you are interested in our own project, Prince and Nikki's project, we've recently just finished the roofing sheets. I know it's been quite popular. We've had a lot of people asked us to support them in purchasing their roofing sheets. We have obviously spoken about how we sourced our roofing sheets from abroad. We are really happy with how it turned out. We was able to select a more unique colour that we wanted as opposed to the generic colours, and our carpenter was very clear that there was a massive difference in the quality of the roofing sheets. Yeah, because they come in different thicknesses. As I said, people have contacted us and we've been able to save people money on the roofing sheets.
Yeah, I think it's if you use the number we put under that video, you speak direct to the sales agent we deal with from the factory, you'll get the same discount. All the shipping costs, everything, all the way to Tema will be included. But if you go and speak to other sales agents, that's one of our subscribers contacted this week, you will not have the same treatment because they don't know of that arrangement all the way back to Tema.
Yeah, I think if you just speak to Lynn and just say, obviously, you're coming via Prince and Nikki, they will be able to apply the discount, because I think they've had that many enquiries since December that we've been able to negotiate a increased discount for any subscribers. So get a quotation from them. Obviously, there's no pressure sales from them. They didn't even pressure us. It's literally they give you the quotation, and if you want to purchase, you go back to them when you're ready. So it's good to even just to compare with Ghana, and then you can feel satisfied that you can use that even to barter a local price if you wanted to. You can barter with local people on the ground in Ghana. It's another tool for you to have. But definitely, we have got more videos coming up. As I said, we've done our security bars as well, haven't we?
Yeah, all done now.
All the security bars are done. That's another debate. Security bars or no security bars?
Yeah, I think it's if you've been through a situation whereby beggars attempt a couple of your staff, you got that set mind that is a good preventive measure. And also look at the side. We already have the copper of it already stolen.
Yeah, so for ourselves, with our previous property that we built, we had security bars on that property, and when we was in Ghana last time, from the time we left to about 2 months after, we'd had 2 attempts to get into the property.
Yeah, they even disconnect the electricity from the meter because the alarm was going off.
Yeah, the alarm was going off, and so they disconnected. So I think there's pros and cons. Obviously, nobody ideally wants a security bar on the windows, but with our own personal experience, if those bars weren't there, they would have been in and took the TV and everything off the wall, wouldn't they? We've had to suck it up. We've had to do the security bars, but the way we've designed the security bars, they will align really well with the windows.
Yeah.
I've actually sketched a drawing, so maybe I'll do a separate video on the security bars and the windows, and they will align really well, and the windows will be tinted so you won't really see them. So security bars, and whilst we're on site we'll be doing a lot of landscaping, preparations for the plumbing works, for the aircon and electrical, so lots of different things on site, and the fence wall.
Yeah.
So just looking back at the video here, so where we are now.
So after the still better finish, on this very day here, we got an electrician and a plumber coming to do their work. What I was discussing with Mike is how can we in future put in all the openings so that when the plumber comes, he doesn't break all the block where we have just done, then we have to now refill it. That's just to be more efficient. So I think I'm thinking of a way that we create the openings in the block so that when this guy comes, the rework is less, just to become more efficient of what we do. Again, I'm not a big advocate of running electric pipes at this stage. I always talk about essential pipes. But here, because of the lower ground floor, whereby the floor to ceiling height we've got there is not very generous, so I don't expect the owner to be doing a full ceiling there. We decided to run these electrical pipes now. Yeah, so on this project and all our other projects, we working with multi-scale electrician. It's very good. He did work on Project Lashibi. He did it. So it's somebody who I spoke to him at length in terms of the theory. He understands how things work, and that is American system or British or Ghanaian system. He understands how different system works. So I'm happy with him. So he's gonna be working on our own project, our own house when we go in Ghana in a couple of weeks' time, and he's great.
Yeah, I think Multi-Skilled is on YouTube. I know I've seen him on some of the other pages as well. We've had our eye on him since we was kind of at the decking stage on our own house, but like with anyone, it's YouTube. Everyone can be a builder, everyone can be a plumber, an electrician. That's the unfortunate side of YouTube, is it doesn't mean everyone can do everything. So we watched for a little while, we spoke to him, we did some testing of knowledge. We felt comfortable to try him on Lashibi, and yeah, he's been good, and he's very thorough and very neat as well.
I think everyone we works for us, we do that initial interview, isn't it, to ask a difficult question to see that the person, do they understand the way we want things to be in terms of quality wise.
And it's going to work on our own project. We wouldn't put anyone on a project if we wouldn't put them on our own project.
I think we take every project just our own. We're passionate about it, deeply involved, so there's no difference in terms of quality what we do on one project or what we do on our own project, because there is even more greater responsibility on us building for somebody as a contractor than our own, because we build our own house. But as a registered company working for a client, you need to follow the rules and regulation on the ground, and that is more responsibility.
Yeah, and we've tried to do it the best to make everyone feel comfortable. We understand it's a large chunk of money, so obviously when we started out with our own project, we just wanted to video and show everybody like we was watching the ones that became before us. Obviously there was people like Tilly that was building at the time we got our land and purchased it, so we wanted to help share the skills and knowledge that we have coming from construction experience. And yeah, we just enjoyed the journey, being able to help other people build their home. This Project Yaw, Francis, obviously he's privy to the videos before they come on YouTube. So
We share everything from the side.
We send all the videos that we get to him before they even come on here. So he's obviously ahead of what we're showing now. But he saw the videos yesterday and he was just so grateful of how he can sleep well, and he knows that actually it was so positive and feedback, wasn't it? So it was really nice to hear, because we're at finish now. We've actually finished this stage.
Yeah. So on the casting days here, this is day one of casting. Unfortunately, we couldn't get two machines because of a local supply issue. So we have to cast this floor twice. In 2 days.
Yeah.
It's additional cost to us.
Yeah, it's additional cost, but I mean, what we always say is we do prefer to cast in one day with 2 machines, double labour, just because it's just nice to do it in one day and get it all done. But as Prince said, the local resources, we was only able to get the 1 machine, so we have cast it in the 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's one thing is Mike called me yesterday and said, I'm really pleased with the outcome, what we've done. Now that when you see how everything turned out, because originally this wasn't really drawn, was it? We have to get our engineer to do a sketch for us, what we were gonna do. But now that it's all done, that you can see you can get the idea of how the building is going to look.
But when you see where they're actually casting the floor now, that is what we had for the building design. So that would have been the foundation. All below that, all this block work for the basement, lower ground, none of that existed. So it's taken slightly longer than the schedule. However, what he's gained in terms of an additional apartment, and it's the foundations. If you go back to I think it was the second video we did where we got the JCB digger, we cut the land, we went really down with the foundations. We have really taken a lot of time in making sure that the engineering behind it is really good and you have a solid foundation, and that's what's important, particularly on lands like this. Erosion, and we need to make sure that it's solid for him.
Yeah, because if you're building on a hill and your foundation doesn't go down 4 feet, if there is erosion, before you know, you begin to see your foundations exposed. So when you're building on the land, it's very, very important to make sure your foundations go to the right depth, specified by the structural engineer.
And that's 4 feet at the lowest point. So obviously here, at the very lowest point here, the 4 feet down would be so much more lower than the upper.
So if you see the iron rods we use, those were full iron rods. So effectively 30 foot. So one piece is about 30 foot, about 9 meters high. From the foundation to this level is short. We have to extend it. Yeah. So that's how deep the foundation to the lower ground floor was. So for us, there is no cornice cap. We don't cut cornice, as I said earlier on. There's a responsibility on us to make sure we do the right things. This build, when we were doing the foundation, we have the assembly. The work, the assembly came for the inspection, and they were very happy with what we're doing. So that check and balances is also there to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I have to say our experience down on this land, on the Asebu land, the office for the chief, the way they have run everything is very good. The way
it's very good.
The way they do the paperwork, the way they communicate with people coming in, they're very welcoming. And yeah, it's been a very good experience with working with all the people down there.
It takes also where the guys were staying, the town, everyone was very friendly. It's a lovely place to be, and I couldn't wait to go when you go to Ghana to go actually visit this project in person. So yeah, it's good. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be nice once it's done.
So one thing I want to talk about, you see, we've applied bitumen to part of the wall here. The reason why we just decided to apply this bitumen is that with the filling we did to the upper ground, we expect that there'll be some moisture in the soil over time that will want to penetrate through the wall. So that's why we apply the bitumen both inside and outside as a protective layer against damp. Also, when we finish the whole building, we'll be using waterproof cement for the plastering. That will so that you don't have any problem. Everything we do is fully guaranteed, and we'll be speaking to Seeker about the right product to use when we come to the rendering and the plastering stage.
What you're seeing here in front of you is the staircase. This staircase we've had to make, obviously, with the changes to the low ground floor, we've had to make some changes with the staircase. So we've created a low ground staircase which interlinks to the whole building, to all the other floors. So this is a complete additional into the building itself.
Yeah, because at first we were talking, do you keep to the original design whereby you have the retaining wall, walk up and you go up so that the lower ground floor is kind of separated from the main building, but we find out that the best solution would be to have the stair starting all the way from the lower ground floor.
Yeah. So as you can see here, this is kind of where we're at now. Yeah, the second day. We're nearly finished on the casting.
So after this, the carpenter is also working the same time on the retaining wall. So this is the starter retaining wall that's gonna hold the F from the top, and then the similar thing is at the back, also on the same grade.
So it's all here where you see the black. This will be the other side of the retaining wall where all the excess earth will be used to fill in that.
Yeah. This is also the reason why we're doing this now is that because we're gonna be living inside for a couple of months and the rainy season is coming. What we don't want is that all this soil being washed all the way down into the lower ground floor. So that is why we're doing this. At the back, the ground is substantially higher, so that also is to prevent any erosion or possible landslide into the space.
Yeah. So that's it really in terms of where we're at. We've taken some time, we've used lots of space to think about how it's structurally done, and we've come up with a great idea to help develop the original plan to where we are today. There's been lots of amendments. You can check out the playlist on our channel where you'll be able to see the different videos that will show you how we got to this stage from where we had initially designed. This is the full completion of the first phase, which is the substructure. This is all now completed. So in terms of Prince and Nikki, we have finished this and we'll be moving back onto Project Lashibi come tomorrow. We're on Project Lashibi, and then we have a few new projects in the pipeline that we're going to be starting on.
Yeah.
As I said, we're coming to Ghana ourselves in a few weeks, so we'll be updating you on what's going on the ground. If you have got some things that you would like us to talk about or show you whilst we're on the ground with our own video, just let us know what you want us to show you. And we'll go there. We've got our videos, we've got cameras, we can bring you anything that you want in terms of updates. So if you do like what you see on this project or you've got any questions, do comment below and show the love to us that you're enjoying the content. Do hit the like and subscribe button and show that you support us. Don't be the 75%, as I always say, 75% that watch and don't subscribe, please. It does make a massive difference.
Regular returning
regular returning viewers, 75%. If you're one of those 75%, it is free. Just hit the subscribe button and support us, guys. it really does motivate you when you see people subscribing and joining you and as part of the family. So do continue to watch, and we hope you enjoy. Head over to the page and see the different playlists. We have Project Casa Josie coming up soon. We have Lashibi, and we have Project Yaw, as well as our own Prince and Nikki project. We do work in the background as well. As I say, we do design as well.
Yeah, we
Design
do a
and
lot of
construction.
project management, estimate. We're helping a lot of people save a lot of money on their project. So there's not everywhere we can be. So whoever we can help, we give that help, because it's not every project we can work on. But we give that impartial advice and help to people who contact us.
Yes, so thank you all for reaching out and supporting us. We hope to be able to help as many people as we can. But thank you for watching today, and do comment and let us know you've enjoyed the video below. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.